think about how incredible it is that we actually even have it in the first place, that it even exists. Then come back and tell me that that little notch on the MacBook Pro is enough to make you not buy it. I mean, I find that crazy. Technology is incredible. It really is. It has changed the way we live our lives. We are glued to our mobile phones all of the time throughout the day. We use computers every single day when we are at work. We use computers when we are at home to do things you enjoy, such as video editing and creating things. We have iPads that we use for online shopping, watching movies and browsing the internet. We watch TV on massive 50-inch TVs with surround sound at home. And we have cameras that are capable of shooting 8K video, sometimes even in your mobile phone. And these cameras would have cost hundreds of thousands of pounds just a few years ago. We have the internet, the World Wide Web, or Whiskey with Water, if you've ever watched Kevin and Stacey.
You have to start everything with www. And the best thing to do is to think of something to help remind you, like with me now. I think of Whiskey with Water.
What about World Wide Web?
World Wide Web? I like it, like a spider. Hey, that's the ticket. That's brilliant, you've got it. First class, that is. Phew. What is it you do, if you don't mind me asking?
I work in computers.
We are all connected around the whole entire world. We can send something to the other side of the world. We can speak to people on the other side of the world whilst seeing them right now in your very homes, on the other side of the world. And there are even people flying to space nearly every single day. If you go back 30 years in time and you look forward to now, your head would literally explode at the things that we are able to do right now. As we sit here, it is unbelievable what we can do with the magic of technology and what it has allowed us to do. It's crazy to think how far technology has come in the last 10, 20, 30 years and what is possible now to what wasn't possible then. However, as amazing as all of this is and what it is possible to do now, I do think that we have become just a little bit complacent. We do take a lot of it for granted. Everything is almost too easy now. Everything is so quick and instant. So much so that, for example, when a new piece of technology is released, it is that difficult to find something wrong with it, and you really have to look very hard to find something that is even just a tiny little bit wrong with it. And it does feel like sometimes when a new piece of technology comes out that people are very quick to try and find things that are wrong with it. Instead of appreciating the amazing piece of technology that is in their hands, they are looking for those tiny little things that they can complain about. For example, take the latest Apple release. Now, Apple have just released the brand new Apple MacBook Pro, and they have completely redesigned it, both inside and out. I'm not going to get into this MacBook Pro in this video because that is not what this video is about at all. However, it has to be said that it is one of the most impressive laptops that has been released in a very long time, not just Apple. It is an incredible piece of technology, whether you like it or not. Now, what was one of the first things that people noticed when this Apple MacBook was released just a couple of weeks ago? Instead of all the incredible specs and performance with the laptop, the first thing they noticed was the fact that it had a notch. A notch! That tiny little black bar at the top of the screen. I mean, really? Who cares? This is one of the most impressive and powerful laptops ever made, and all people can complain about is the fact that it has a notch that is used to hide the camera, and when you are using the laptop itself, you won't even notice it. And it's not just the MacBook Pro, iPhones have notches as well. Who cares? We've kind of got used to them now. It's not a big deal. Another example is DJI drones, specifically the DJI Mini 2, an incredible tiny little drone that weighs less than 500 grams, so you can pretty much fly it anywhere in any conditions, bar rain and wind, without having to actually pass a drone test to be able to fly it. Anyone can go and fly these and buy it from a shop right now. It shoots 4K video and it is an incredibly capable little drone for its weight and its price. I shoot all of my drone footage with the DJI Mini 2. I absolutely love it. However, what was one of the first things that people said when it was released? The camera's not quite as good as more expensive drones. No, it's not, because you're not paying for that. You are paying for this DJI Mini 2 with 4K footage, which is still an incredibly powerful and capable little device. If you want something that has a better camera on it, you're going to have to get a different drone. So it is pointless comparing that drone to something with a better camera on it. And it's not just physical tech either. Take, for example, social media. When Instagram goes down for a few hours, the whole world loses the plot and they think Instagram is terrible and it's the end of the world, when it's really not. It's just maybe a bit of a server problem and it's just going to be back up and running in a few hours. It's not the end of the world, and there's nothing really to complain about because these things happen. Now, I think what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to things like this, we are very quick to look at the negatives and try and find some frustrations, instead of just taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture and realizing just how impressive the tech we use on a daily basis really is. The amount of time, money and effort that goes into developing these products before we even see them, so then they can be released and then we can go out and use them and create with them and contact people on the other side of the world with them. It is mind-boggling how much goes into these pieces of technology. And I'm literally talking about everything, not just cameras and computers and mobile phones, literally everything you see around you. But again, who would have thought that 10 years ago we would be able to carry around tiny little drones capable of filming 4K video in a size that fits in your pocket and just buy it from your local Enquries or your local tech shop? It's crazy, because those things 10, 20 years ago would have cost thousands of pounds. They might not have even been possible to build that time ago. I do think that we all, and I'm including myself in this, we all take it for granted because we are so spoilt with what is around us. We get everything instantly. Everything is of such a high quality now when it comes to tech. You can't really buy a bad camera. You can't really buy a bad mobile phone. Everything is so good, and it is leaps and bounds ahead of where it was 20, 30 years ago. However, what that does mean is it does mean we take it all for granted. So I think what I'm trying to say is, next time you go out and buy maybe a new computer, for example, think about how incredible it is that we actually even have it in the first place, that it even exists. Think of the amount of time and effort that has gone into developing that product, the amount of money that is spent developing it, the amount of prototypes that people have gone through testing it. It's crazy when you think about it, and then come back and tell me that that little notch on the MacBook Pro is enough to make you not buy it. I mean, I find that crazy. So yeah, that's a little something I just wanted to kind of get out in the open, because it's been on my head a little bit since the new MacBook was released and people were complaining about that notch, which I just think is crazy, because these things are literally some of the best laptops ever made, and people are just complaining about a little black square on the screen that, again, it just hides a camera and you can't even see it when you're using the computer. So I just find that baffling, and I think we do just need to appreciate the tech around us, because it is unbelievable, every single thing we use on a daily basis. Anyway, I am going to stop waffling now, because I am just waffling. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And yeah, if you like what you see on this channel, don't forget to click that little subscribe button just down below there. Give this video a thumbs up, and I shall see you all very soon in another video. Is this thing on? I'm just testing it. I'm always kind of paranoid that I've clicked record on there and I've started recording and got through half of my filming, and then I've forgotten to click that and I'm going to have to start again. But yeah, I've done it now, so we're all good. Video's finished now. See you later.